Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Hey everyone, this is Damien. How are you? Today I'm going to be reviewing a couple of things for your camera. So I'm always trying to do photography on a budget. I'm a semi-pro photographer. I can't afford all the pro level gear. Not yet, but one day. So my videos are always about trying to get the most bang for your buck, or to come up with ways of coming close to what the pros use in gear. First off, I'm going to be reviewing the difference between the Canon 580 EX2 speedlight and the Yongnuo 560 The difference we're talking about here is $500 versus $69. Alright, so we have here the 580 EX2 Canon flash and the Yongnuo or Yongnuo or Yongnuo. I'm just going to call it Yongnuo. Alright, so let's turn them both on. The 580 EX2 has a little switch here. The Yongnuo, you hold this down, it sort of cycles through several things and then pops on. And I want to repeat that because at first your inclination is to just tap it once to turn it on, or hold it for a second, it's not working, what's going on. You basically have to hold it down while it cycles through and then it's on. You probably already know a lot about Canon speedlights, the 580 EX2, the 430 EX2, and Canon's new 600 EX. So I'm not going to go too much into those. Let's start off by talking about the physical differences between these two flashes. Both of them come with a case. You expect a lesser quality case with the Yongnuo, but it's actually pretty decent in comparison. It feels like it's about the same material. Physically, these are very similar flashes. They're about the same weight. They feel about the same build. They both have reasonably similar ports on them. The 580EX has a battery pack and a PC cord. The battery compartment latch on the 580EX2 slides over and then down. The battery compartment on the Yongnuo 560 just pushes down. The 580EX2 has a button that you need to press before changing the direction of the flash head. The Yongnuo just basically points without having to press a button. It looks like it has a button, but it doesn't actually press. The 580EX2 has more of a range, from basically all the way to 180 degrees. And the 560 goes 180 in one direction and only 90 in the other direction. Also, the 560 can point down slightly. However, when you're looking at both flashes, they achieve about the same angle. It's actually kind of nice not to have to keep pressing the button on the Yongnuo. The Canon 560 has the weather sealed lock, which is really nice and easy to use. The Yongnuo 560 has a plastic screw-on lock, which is, for me, not easy to use and a little difficult to release and tighten. So definitely the 580 EX2 wins in that one. Alright, now that we've covered the physical differences and similarities of this flash, let's talk about the menus. I'm gonna turn on the Yongnuo. The Yongnuo motor is a little bit louder, but that's not bad. You can tell pretty much right away that you have to look at these screens straight on, both of them. As soon as you start to get an angle going, you can't really read the information on them. The Yongnuo has 4 modes. It's got manual mode, slave 1, slave 2, and multi. Obviously, the Yongnuo 560 does not have ETTL, but for $69 you really obviously am forgoing that over a $575 flash last I looked. So ETTL is nice, but you know, when it's on camera, you're right there to adjust it anyway. Basically, for those who don't know, ETTL is the ability of the camera to control the output of the flash. And I started to shoot some with my 580X2 off camera, and basically whenever I had the flash mounted on something, I had to have the IR, basically the infrared, sort of pointing toward my camera. The Yongnuo has that as well, but it again does not have TTL, so you can't adjust it off camera. You have to go up to the flash and do it manually. A lot of people like manual anyway. On the Yongnuo, you can set the output of the flash from full down to 1/128. What's kind of nice is if you go in one direction, you can lower it and it eventually gets back to 1/1. On the Canon, which obviously keeps shutting itself off, likes to sleep, if you're adjusting the power, you pretty much have to go all the way to one end and then all the way back the other end. As far as adjusting power, I have to give a little more of an edge to the Yongnuo. The Canon, you have to move this little dial, and it's not really easy to move this dial with just one thumb. It's very difficult to do. It's easier kind of to use two thumbs at once. It's pretty laborious. Whereas the Yongnuo, you're just kind of hitting these little buttons back and forth, so it's much quicker. You can also go up by increments if you press the top of the ring, which is really cool. I think you can do that on the Canon. So I'm at 1/1/4. Then you have plus 1 1/4 plus 3 plus 7. So the Canon's already kind of doing that. One thing that's nice about the Yongnuo, it has a audible beeper. When the flash fires, it will beep and tell you that it's ready, which is quite nice. If you wanted to stop the sleep mode of the Yongnuo, you can hold down the speaker button for a few seconds, and then this light will light up, keeping it from going to sleep. I don't think that you can do that on the 580EX2, but you probably can. I just don't know how to do it. Alright, so if you happen to have a 580EX2 and you buy a Yongnuo 560 or 562 as a separate unit, you can always put the Yongnuo into slave mode and the 580EX2 into master mode and fire both flashes via the 580EX. The YN-560 cannot act as a master, only in slave mode. One thing I like about the Yongnuo over the Canon is the light. Whenever it's dark and you hit any button at all, the Yongnuo will light up. The Canon, you have to tap the little light. Both flashes come with a bounce card and diffuser, which you can put the diffuser back in and just use the bounce card. The heads of both these flashes are basically the same, so any Stofin diffuser that you have that will fit the 580EX2 will also fit on the 560 too. Let's do a comparison between the refresh speeds of these two flashes. One thing I did notice that when you've got your Canon in master mode, it does refresh a lot slower for some reason. I'm not sure why. Look at the speed of refresh for a half speed on master. And we'll take it out of master and show you refresh speed on half, just manual. It's a lot quicker. It's weird because the flash has to send out data to the other flashes in master mode, but I can't understand why the flash would take longer to refresh in that mode. This is probably why using radio triggers like the Cactus V5 is a lot better than setting the Canon to master and having several slaves. Alright, let's do a little refresh test between the two flashes. We've got it on 1-to-1 mode, You can see the Canon is a lot slower. Now let's try it in half mode. Do you notice how quick I can change it on the Yongnuo versus the Canon? And finally, let's do 1/4. Pretty much instant on both of those. Alright, so that was my review of the Canon 580EX2 versus the Yongnuo 562. For 69 bucks, this is one heck of a bargain. Now I will warn you, there has been warnings on some threads about the 562 not lasting that long, or dying after 6 months or a couple months or whatever. Some people will get great ones that last years, and some people will get ones that that don't last all that long. But for a difference of $500, I think on Amazon this is like 580 right now, and this is 69 bucks. So for the difference in price, I think it's worth taking a chance. It's a great flash. Okay everyone, thanks for watching and take care.